Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Football Focus SG podcast with myself, Faiz, and Mr. JB and Harun Nazir Hanafi. Welcome back, you guys. How are you guys doing today?
Great, great. A lot to talk about. A lot of happenings in the world of football, and excited to be talking about it tonight, man.
Yeah, I'm sure you're excited with your brand new microphone that you're using. Mr. JB, how about you?
Yeah. Looking forward to a lot of interesting topics. So many things happening in the football world. So yeah, great to be back again. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, for the past few episodes, we did focus a lot on SPL. We tried to look and previews and reviews about what's going to happen because basically it is down to the wire. Of course, as per recording, this is episode 16. So a few matches of SPL has been played, which is uh, Balestier's two game in hand was played. They lost to Geylang and they won against Hougang. So it's a very surprising fixture that they have, and Geylang is still back on 7 after Balestier's surprise win over Hougang. And for today's episode, we want to try focus more on the top 5 Europe league that are going on right now. And it's a lot of things that has happened and we have not touched on. So finally, we can touch on other than transfers. We can talk more about the league. So the first league that I want to go through with you guys a bit. Of course, special mention to like Portuguese league and Dutch league because they have a very exciting league, especially the Portuguese. Benfica, Porto, and Sporting CP. They are the top three fighting for the title right now. Very close. The rest are a little bit off, but it's still early. So the first league that I want to go for is the Ligue 1, which is French league. Well, let's just say it is a league on its own, Paris Saint-Germain, to say the least. However, the last fixture that happened, it was a surprise result that everyone's talking about, where PSG, who is currently on 24 points, 6 points ahead of the second, lost to Rennes 2-0. Clean, 2-0. And everyone was surprised because they were coming off 8 winning streak. They have Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe on that match, which is the daily trio. And for them to lose, it is a shocking result. But do you see this as a surprise for you guys in the first place? Gonna start with you, Harun Azri.
I think for me, I couldn't agree more with you. League of their own, PSG, but there are surprises along the way. But what struck me the most about PSG is somehow after Pochettino came into the team as their manager, uh, from my viewpoint, I think I don't think the word is gel, but I don't think somehow the way I look at it is I still don't feel like they're at the top of their game. PSG, I still feel that they're not at their peak, and it's been almost a season so
Yeah.
with Pochettino at PSG. I somehow feel that the players are still not acclimatized to his ways, if I
There's no
can say
chemistry.
such.
There's no like
Yeah,
chemistry.
yeah. I don't know whether it's chemistry. I don't know whether it's the gel or gelling as a part of a team. But you know, previously when we had Tuchel there, when we had Emery there, when we had Laurent Blanc even at PSG, you know, it sorts of it's instant, you know, the things are instantaneous. But with Pochettino there, I think he's trying to change things. So maybe benefit of doubt, he needs a little bit more time to get things the way he wants it to be. But yeah, there'll be surprises along the way. But like I said, I don't feel like they have Messi, they have Mbappe, they have Di Maria, they have Neymar there, but I still feel that they're not a force yet, you know, like a strong force to be reckoned with. Individually, yes, they have great players, but as a group, you know, in my eyes, PSG in Ligue 1, I would predict them to win all the matches in Ligue 1. I would predict them to go unbeaten throughout the entire season with the likes of players that they have in the squad. But you know, truth be told, that's not the case, and hopefully things get better for them. But having said that as well, I choose to uh, I wouldn't say I choose, but I would prefer them to lose some matches along the way and make the league more interesting. Give all those people that saying this is just a one team show in the league, and give them a run. Give their, you know, give in a way. Don't prove to them that that's the case. I want the rest of the teams to step up, and when we have surprise results along the way, it makes it great for the league.
Yeah,
Yeah.
most definitely. Mr. JB, what about you? My question to you, yes, same topic where PSG technically lost to Rennes, which is a surprise result. But what's the biggest highlight and the point taken? I do want to take a bit from Harun Razif saying that, maybe Pochettino is not getting the right 11, maybe the team's not really getting the gel, maybe to his formation or the style of play. But what surprises everyone more, the main highlight from this match is that despite losing 2-0, it's fine. It could be inevitable. But for them to have zero shot on target throughout the whole match with Di Maria, Neymar, Mbappe, and Messi, surely that's not acceptable by that standard, right? What do you think, Mr. J?
Yeah, I mean, of course, I mean, PSG, they've been creating headlines, right, from last season. And then, by getting Messi, I mean, it actually get them the spotlight again. So I'm not sure if it's a good or bad thing for Pochettino. And I have to agree with what Aaron Nasri actually mentioned, because yes, I think as a coach, sometimes when you have too much, how to say, I mean, if your squad is so dense, you have so many choices to make. You know, it's it's almost like, I mean, how do I put it? If I have an example, right? Sometimes when I turn on Netflix, there's so many movies I can't even decide. For 15 minutes, I'll be scrolling past all the movies thinking, what should I watch? So I think PSG is kind of having that same scenario. Pochettino is now having somewhat of a trouble, to select like his best 11 at the moment.
Yeah.
Because honestly speaking, from the top down, I think who can argue that all of the players are amongst the world's best. And I'm also quite surprised that actually certain players like Wijnaldum, he
Yeah.
hasn't been getting enough minutes. I'm not so sure why. Is it an injury or whatsoever? I'm not too sure. Ramos as well. I think he have yet to even make his PSG debut. Injury as well.
Yeah.
So basically, I really feel for Pochettino, and I think he should really try to start and try and, like what Harnazi mentioned, get the right shape or the right gel or the right system for them. And of course, I mean, football being football, yes, they are all world class names and all that, but we're not playing FIFA here sometimes. Football is football. You will be bound to lose. You will have times where you have zero shot on target whatsoever. But yes, of course, for that kind of attacking force that they have, and I believe that match we have Di Maria, Messi, and Neymar, and also Mbappe up front. And for all of them, I mean, to not even get a shot on target, that's a bit puzzling to me. I'm not sure how good is the opposition defense or the goalkeeper, because
I
to be
mean,
honest, I
I
didn't
mean,
watch the
a
match.
lot of people say it's a fluke win. I mean, it's a one-off performance, maybe. It's a performance of a
Yeah,
lifetime
yeah,
for Rennes, but no one
yeah,
expected.
exactly.
And also,
Yep.
again,
So
like the question that everyone's asking now again,
yeah,
Messi have yet to score in Ligue 1. So now my question to you guys, just a quick one
oh
before we move on to
yeah,
another team.
yeah.
When will Messi break that duck? This month or next month?
Wow. I think it's a bit tough, yeah, because
The whole month of
I'm not
September he
even.
missed, and
Yeah,
August.
yeah. I
So
mean,
yeah,
I mean, he did open his account in the Champions League,
in the
right,
Champions
against Man
League, yes.
City.
I mean that is a masterclass against Manchester City, but in Liga, and we have yet to see that masterclass yet.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't dare to put, like when exactly we're gonna see him score, but
No, it's just a
I don't know.
prediction.
I
Just
mean,
a prediction.
okay. I mean, knowing Messi, I think he at the moment right now he seems to enjoy playing for the national team. And
Yeah,
right now, the national team
definitely.
is having some tournament now as we speak, recording on this episode. So my prediction will be, I think, coming back from the national team where he's all happy and all. Hopefully, he will start opening his account once he's back from his international duties.
Aaron Azzi, do you agree? Right after international break, Messi is gonna, maybe
Yeah,
start
yeah.
his account.
Yeah, same. I have the same feelings too. Whatever I say, I based it on my feelings and my thoughts, and I feel the same way too. It's unlucky. He has hit the post a couple of times, if I believe so, both in the league matches and Champions League.
Yeah.
But with we can't. It's difficult for us to predict goals, but for the fun of it, I think he's gonna score the first game back that at PSG after the international break. I'm gonna say that he's gonna start scoring from then on. I don't know whether he's gonna reach the heights that he had when he was at Barcelona. We don't know. Age is a factor as well. Team camaraderie and what you mentioned, the chemistry, gelling as a team. But he will break his duck soon in League, and the best is yet to come.
All right. Well, moving on to the next league that we're going to talk about is the Bundesliga that's going on. Also, a shocking result happened right before the international break. We have a lot of shocking results right before international break, so it's fun to talk about it. We have Bayern Munich, who is currently leading on the table, while everything seems to be running well and fine, and a surprise loss of Bayern Munich losing to Eintracht Frankfurt 2-1, a very surprising one. So it kind of opens up the race a little bit because they are currently level on points with Leverkusen. Dortmund is third, 15, Freiburg 15, Wolfsburg 13. So there's like 3 points gap between 5 teams. Of course, the major talking point everyone's talking right now is not just the Bayern Munich loss, is how bad does RB Leipzig start? Because RB Leipzig is everyone considered as a title contender as of this point, because they have been lingering around the top 3 and 4 for the past few seasons. But this season alone, within the first 5 games, they received 3 losses, and they are currently on 8th position. So I'm gonna go with Mr. JB first. Well, what do you think about the shocking result of Bayern Munich losing, and Leverkusen is level on point, Dortmund is all level on point? I know it's still early, but do you think that there's gonna be a race here, or is it gonna be Bayern Munich a league on its own?
Well, I think to be honest, it's definitely Bayern Munich on a league on its own. I mean, if you look at the stats of the game, right, I think they have like what 20 overshots as compared to Frankfurt, which
You mean
only has
against
like
with the Frankfurt? Yeah,
four or
they
five.
had like 10 shot on target, and I don't know how Frankfurt only conceded one.
Yeah, there you go. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it is football. At the end of the day, you take your chances, you score goals. You don't take your chances, well, you may not get the victory, or perhaps,
Yeah,
just so happens that the goalkeeper of the opposition is probably on form. So
yeah. The former
it's
PSG
really,
player, by the way. So,
yeah, exactly. Who's the keeper? Trap, is it?
Kevin Trapp, yes.
Yeah. So I mean, at the end of the day, I believe it's this kind of matches that actually kind of make the goalkeeper shine, which is a good thing, because I believe goalkeeper doesn't have enough credit sometimes. So it's quite nice to see. Yes, I mean I mean, from a goalkeeper point of view, you probably would prefer to go for clean sheet, but you know at the end of the day, if you can stop, like, how many shots on target you mentioned? 10?
8. They have 8 on target. No, I think they
Yeah,
have 10. They have 10. Yeah,
yeah,
they have 10.
exactly. So for you to like stop 9 or something like that, I think that's quite an achievement. So
It is.
yeah, I mean, for me, at the end of the day, Bayern is just a league on its own. This is just one of those
One of those
off
off games.
days, I would say. Yeah, exactly. It's one of those off days, probably fatigue or whatsoever. But I mean, I expect Bayern to go up and running in the next one. Yeah.
Arun Azri, my question to you is a little bit straightforward. Same thing. Does Bayern is basically league on his own, or do you see Leverkusen, Dortmund putting up a bit of a fight in this league, who is currently just game?
First and foremost, I think we are still early in the season. So to call, I think there is a difference between Ligue 1 and Bundesliga. I think Bundesliga, and having said that, even in Ligue 1, there are a couple of teams that could prove as challenges. Even last season, we had another team not
Yeah,
named PSG winning the league.
Max
So,
Brazil, yeah.
and for Bundesliga, it's even higher. The challenge, of course, everyone expects Bayern to win with the players that they have and the history that they have over there. But we have good challenges in Dortmund, Wolfsburg, Leverkusen, and the surprising one, RB Leipzig. So I don't think Bundesliga is a one team kind of thing. I think there will be challenges for Bayern along the way with their travels to Champions League and whatnot. But yeah, you touched on earlier with so to answer your question, I think there will be challenges along the way, but do I see them? You know, every season in the Bundesliga, we predict Dortmund is gonna challenge Bayern. Dortmund is gonna challenge Bayern. But for this season, somehow with the dominance that Bayern has had, we don't hear people talking about Dortmund challenging Bayern for the title this season.
Yeah, there's more than
As
one now.
as previously before. So I'm gonna say I think this year they're gonna push Bayern all the way to the end. I feel my strong feeling says that when everyone don't talk about it, I'm going to speak about it. I think they're going to push Bayern all the way to the end of the season. Speaking about RB Leipzig, just let me touch on that for a moment. They have a new manager in Jesse March, an American who moves from RB Salzburg. So I think the pressure is on him because, as we all know, RB Leipzig have had good seasons before this, finishing at least in the top four. Not a good start for Jesse March, but I think we all saw clips of how he handles his players at Salzburg. I hope things turn around for him. I think he have a good run of matches, and hopefully, I know the pressure will be on him now because everyone expects better. But yep, hopefully things get better for them, and I want teams to challenge Bayern for the title this season.
Yeah, I mean, it is very exciting, especially in this stage, because it is still early. Everyone is still trying to jockeying in positions. So I think it's going to be like what you guys said is true. Like compared to Ligue 1, this is a little bit much more exciting to watch because no offense, PSG is, well, 8 win, 1 loss. Really? I mean, like, and that 1 loss is, well, everyone write that off. Not many people's going to remember that. But here's a quick fun fact or question for you guys. I'm not sure whether you guys check on the phone right now or anything, but just a quiz. While we talk about Bayern Munich actually have a surprise loss, there's only one team in Bundesliga that have not lost yet. Can you guys guess who?
I'll go with Wolfsburg.
No, sadly it's now Wolfsburg. Mr. JV?
Wow. Could it be Schalke? I got no idea, man.
Schalke is not even in this league. Schalke is in the second division.
Okay, all right. I think I'm gonna throw one. I'm gonna go for the obvious. I think is it Dortmund?
No, Dortmund has 2 losses also. So here's a surprising thing. The only team that's not lost is SC Freiburg, who is currently on 4th. 4 wins, 3 draws, and just 1 point behind Bayern Munich. So, like what you guys say is true. It's going to be a very interesting season. The fact that Freiburg is actually one of the teams that win Dortmund actually this season. So, gonna keep an eye on that. So now moving on to another league, we're going to gonna go with Serie A first. All right, we're gonna go with Serie A. Now, Serie A is a whole different story now. It's a whole contrast compared to last season. Look at where was Juventus last season, and look at where they are now, and look who is in the top 3 at the moment. It is topsy-turvy right now. So just to give a brief through, the fixtures, they have a lot of ups and downs. I would say one of the bigger results that happened, maybe Roma losing to Lazio in the derby 3-2. Well, Inter Milan dropping points, Juventus lost, and the one team that stood out among everyone else is Napoli with 7 wins, 7 wins. AC Milan with 6 wins and 1 draw. They are currently in the top 2 with Inter Milan just behind, have not lost yet as well, all 3 of them. So I'm gonna start with you, Hernazi. Who you got your money on for Serie A? Who do you think is gonna actually try and win this?
Look, I think Napoli 7 games, 7 wins. I think it's a match made in heaven for the
Yeah,
coach and the players. I think
yeah,
they have a new manager in as well. Lazio have a new manager as well. Roma have a new manager as well.
yeah.
Inter Milan have a new manager as
A
well.
very exciting league. It's like
Yeah,
brand new teams,
yeah,
brand new
true.
teams, brand new players.
And look, if you're asking me now, I think if we're talking about current status, I think Napoli looks very, very good. And mind you, they don't change much. The players are more or less the same players, maybe barring one or two changes here and there. The only difference is the manager. And I think part of that factor as well, it plays a part knowing that your rivals have a change in management in the coaches. When that happens, players need to readjust themselves. They need to reacclimatize themselves to the new boss. They
There's
need
a
to,
spark in there.
yes, true. So having said that, I think Napoli players and manager, they're also banking on that fact that other clubs are also changing here and there. So they're utilizing it well. They're doing it extremely well, and yeah, my money is on Napoli for now. But I won't say fun fact. I think you guys also watch Serie A. There are some good matches. I'm telling you, people are not talking a lot about
Very
Serie
good
A.
matches.
There's a lot of good matches. Everyone knows on this platform here that I'm a big fan of Mourinho. Mourinho is always often associated with defensive football or parking the bus, but I'm telling you, you take a look at his Roma. He has been consistent. His starting 11 has been consistent. The way that they're playing is totally different from what we usually associate Mourinho with. But yeah, that is just Roma. You take a look at Lazio. You take a
Yeah,
look at the league is great. The league is exciting. Things are going great. I've never been one to watch Serie A. I'll be very honest. I don't watch Serie A as in I don't watch the 90 minutes of Serie A match. But this season I have been watching matches in Serie A. Why? Because partly one, Mourinho is there, but two, I'm quite surprised. It seems like there's a shift in the football pattern. Before this, we know that Italian football is always tactical, not so much on attacking football, more conservative, more pragmatic. But I'm telling you, this season is totally off the charts. It's different. The way they
different.
approach their
It's
football is
completely different.
different.
I mean, just watch a Lazio versus Roma alone. I don't think there's
Yeah,
even a pragmatic match at all.
true. It was end to end. It was top to bottom, bottom to top. It was great. So yeah, I encourage everyone to watch Serie A as well, man.
Yeah. Mr. JB, my question to you as of this moment, I do want to touch a bit on Juventus because they're currently seven at the moment. And yes, despite having only two losses, but because with Napoli's 100% winning record, they are 10 points off from first. Juventus 7, 10 points off from first. Now, is this going to be a concern for Juventus for the rest of the run? Now, this is after Pirlo left and Allegri is coming back for his second stint in Juventus. What do you think? Like, is Juventus going to be crawling back up soon? Is Napoli going to slip? Is AC Milan, Roma, Inter, who is in the mix right now, going to try and topple off each other? Share your thoughts about Syria.
Well, I mean, I couldn't agree more with what Aaron Azri actually mentioned. The Serie A is really, the one to watch, particularly this season because of so many changes, so many interesting clubs, especially all these clubs that you mentioned, Juventus, Milan, Inter, all these clubs are, known for their players, they are legendary clubs.
Yep.
And yes, just to answer your question on Juventus, yeah, I mean, it definitely is not looking too good for Allegri and his men because, yes, we are talking about early days, but the fact that you are already looking, almost 10 points off
Yeah.
from the top of the race, it's going to be a mountain to climb. And the fact that I think there's 5 or 6 other teams above you, and then you are going to expect them to drop points as well, it's definitely going to be a mountain to climb. And
It is.
yeah, and I might be a bit biased to all you listeners, but hey, I mean,
But who would
the
you
Ronaldo,
put your money on?
the
There?
Ronaldo effect, man.
The
It's
Ronaldo
the
effect.
Ronaldo effect. Come on. I mean, I understand recently, I think Bonucci or someone, did mention that, it's actually not. It's actually um, how do I put it? It's more like it's not
Like he
always
was saying
positive
Ronaldo
vibes.
was a problem or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like it's not positive vibes having a player
Yeah.
like that because the limelight will be on the player and the rest of the player tend to slack and all that. Well, okay. I mean, I can agree with you on that, Mr. Bonucci. I can respect you on that. But what happened this season? I mean, this season the man is gone already. So
Yeah.
why aren't you? So why aren't
And they
you
got
players,
Allegri back.
stepping it up?
So,
Yeah. You know what I'm saying. I mean, for me, at the end of the day, they are all professional footballers, right? So they should probably step it up. Yeah. So just to touch on a little bit, actually, the team for me that I'm more keen to watch on is actually Lazio. But
mm,
unfortunately, I think Lazio and Juventus are now like the same points together.
yeah, they're
So
currently
it's
the
not.
same points. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So it's probably
And
not looking so
Fiorentina was
good
surprisingly
for.
there.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm gonna have to go with my first love for Italian club, and that's AC Milan.
He's
Because
right.
to me, to me, at the moment for Serie A they look good, but for Champions League not so much. You know, what I'm saying Champions League, I think they already lost two
Yeah.
games in a row already,
Yeah.
and and it's quite worrying because those losses are not bad losses. You know, it's those kind of loss where they played pretty well, but for some reason they just couldn't find the back of the net. So yeah, and if you look at the Italian Serie A table at the moment, I think if you look from probably from I think the top 10 or probably the top 9,
Yeah.
almost all the clubs their goals for is already a double digit,
Yeah.
right?
The
Exactly.
free
I
scoring
mean,
over there.
there you go. So exactly like what Harunazu actually mentioned, all along we thought Italian league, I mean, Italians in general are known for defense, not playing, beautiful football, tactical football, and all those. But come on, from you're looking at 9 teams that have already scored double digit in 7 games. I
Yeah.
mean, that's definitely something to talk about. So yes, it's definitely very very interesting to look at Serie A, and yes, I'm really hoping for AC Milan to actually do well because there are some good players in there that I feel um, that can bring something to the table. Of course, the big hoo-ha was about Daniel Maldini, but at the same time, I think a special shout out to Alexis Selemakers or something. Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry if I pronounced his name
Elementary.
wrong. Yeah, exactly. I think he's also the one to watch for Belgium as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, and all those other players, your Brian Diaz, your Bakayoko, all these good players are right there. So, you know what I'm saying? And not to mention Inter Milan, Napoli, Roma, Mourinho effect is there as well. I mean, to be honest, I kind of miss Mourinho's effect, you know what I'm saying? Like everywhere he goes, it seems like the football crowd will really miss him. Every league he go and he left, you will somehow miss him. He's a colorful character. He brings something to the table, you see.
Yeah.
So definitely Italian league is something to look out for. And yes, spot on. It's very open at the moment. You can't actually tell who will actually finish the race.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Now moving on to another league. Pretty much the second last league that we're gonna review, and that is La Liga that's going on right now. Now, here's my perspective about La Liga right now. There's three things that is no, if not four things that are no wait, five. I'm gonna make it five things that I'm just like baffled right now. Okay, number one is Barcelona. Yes, they only had one loss, but they're currently at 9 at the moment. Not looking too good for Ronald Koeman with 3 draws. Two, I personally think this is gonna be a runaway league for Atletico Madrid after seeing Real Madrid and Barcelona kind of drop, but it didn't. Three, Real Madrid is on top of the league despite having the same points. It's baffling to me. Four, Real Sociedad, who is currently on level point with Atletico Madrid and Real Madrid, which makes things more interesting. And five, this is where something out of the blue. These two teams, I know it might be very early in the season, but both Osasuna and Rayo Vallecano, who used to be relegation battlers, are currently above Barcelona. There's so many things that doesn't make sense in this league, but it's happening right now. So I wanna know what you guys think. What are your opinion? Harnas, we're gonna start with you. Real Madrid currently on top, level points with Atletico and Real Sociedad. What do you think? Like, is this a surprise to you, or is Atletico supposed to be on top? Is Barcelona should be doing better or expected to be down? Share your thoughts.
All right. So look, I think we had a podcast before this where we were discussing and we were raving about Atletico and how we think with
Yeah.
the number of signings that they made, they're supposed to be up there. But look, football is football. The ball is round. 8 matches. I'm looking at the table here myself now. 8 matches, 8, 16, 24. 24 points up for grabs. Only 17 points that they had. And I think this is a case of when we mentioned earlier about PSG. I think they're going through, I won't say they're going through the same problem. I don't know what's happening inside the camp, but I always have this feeling. I think recently I shared the photo with you guys. With the Man City's team photo,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I told you guys about the number of players that they had, so that they have in the squad. And I think for me personally, if you have quite a big group of players, it's gonna cost every we often hear managers saying about when we have a big group of players, we can rotate players, this and that. But I strongly believe also at the back of that those managers mind, it's gonna cause you problems because you have a big squad, and we're not talking about uh, the second division or third division. We're talking about the La Liga. We're talking about the higher levels of football
Yeah.
where you have top class players, world class players. And it's a problem when big or top class players are not playing. It's
Yeah.
common sense.
Do you feel like the
The
magic
ego.
is lost from La Liga?
Yeah, true. And in a way, look, they have a huge group of players, talented ones, brilliant ones, world class ones. It's going to be a problem for Simeone to choose players. One or two players might understand. Okay, squad rotation to win the league, blah blah blah. I understand, but not everyone is going to buy to that idea. Not everyone is going to buy to that idea. And when they don't buy into that idea, then the cracks will form. Now, that's about Atletico Madrid. Now, Real Madrid, top of the table. I think it's a surprise. For me, it's a surprise with whatever that's happening with Real Madrid. But I think there are uh, bright sparks. Benzema being Benzema, Coach Ancelotti being Mr. Ancelotti, and then Vinicius. I think Vinicius is coming off. Now we're talking a lot more about Vinicius rather than Eden Hazard. And
Yeah.
surprise, Gareth Bale is starting matches at Real Madrid.
Yeah. Who ever thought Gareth Bale
Who would
started
have ever
again?
thought? True, who would have ever thought? A lot of surprises. And then we have Real Sociedad, Oyarzabal, if I'm pronouncing his name correctly, Oyarzabal, Captain Magnificent. He has not left yet. He's just simply
Amazing.
brilliant. And one thing I like about these kind of teams, they only have one big name player or maybe two or three, but the rest are not big name players, and these are the kind of squads. What Real Sociedad, and I'm not talking about the way that they're playing, but what Real Sociedad is doing is what Atletico Madrid was doing 7, 8 seasons back when they had one or two big name players and the rest is built upon them. The unity is there, the hard work together to reach a certain objective. And then we have Sevilla with Coach Lopetegui. Again, sorry if I mispronounce his name. We know he's a good coach. He's getting results out of them. The surprising thing, if you were to ask me now, you mentioned Rayo Vallecano, Osasuna, but one surprise to me that I don't see in the top 10 or top 4 now is Villarreal. The Euro Cup holders. Where are they? Surprise, surprise. I thought after beating Man United last season in the finals, I thought they would be challenging in top 4, but they're not there. So
Yeah.
I think this is the effect of now being in the Champions League, and at the same time, again, I'm predicting it too soon. We're just 8 matches, 7 matches into the season,
Yeah.
but it only makes for a good season ahead, man, for me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Although, fun fact, just to add on about your Villarreal, they are the only team that have not lost yet in La Liga. Do you know that? They're not in the
True,
top
yeah, I
10, but
just
they have
saw.
not lost. They have
Yeah.
massive amount of draw because it's
I
basically,
think
well,
5
as
draws.
Arsenal fan, we know this is Unai
Yeah,
Emery's tactic.
5 draws, man.
Yes, that's
Wow.
exactly what Arsenal fans experience. Because at
Yeah.
one point of time, Unai Emery was at Arsenal. Arsenal experienced a lot of draws because Arsenal
Yep.
was in a winning position, and then there was a stats that come out that how many points dropped from a winning position, Arsenal was number one. And that's one of the main reasons why Unai Emery was being scrutinized in Arsenal, losing points at a winning position.
Are they
So,
going through the same thing with Villarreal now? They're losing points from a winning position?
not all, but there are some that they actually have to rarely come back for a draw. So it's very surprising. It's very surprising. So, Mr. JB, over to you. My question is, were you surprised to see the league at the moment as things how it is? Were you surprised about Real Sociedad being the same as Atletico and Real Madrid? Is it not surprised at all that Barcelona is struggling now because of lack of players and, well, they are having a fire sale and relying on youth, So what do you think about La Liga this season?
Yeah, I mean, one word is surprising, right? I mean, if you look at their top scorer, who's their top scorer right now in La Liga? It's Karim Benzema.
Yeah, Karim Benzema, yeah.
Like, who would I like? Never would I ever thought that he would be, scoring this much, at this age, and But I mean, it's good for Madrid. I think Ancelotti, being Ancelotti over there,
Yeah.
he somehow managed to brings out the best out of especially the senior players, who I believe he's worked before. I'm not sure how long Benzema has been in Real Madrid, but it seems to be forever there. So yeah, I mean, good on him, right? And also Atletico Madrid as well. I mean, no surprises there, although the key word for this whole La Liga is actually surprise. You know what's surprising? It's quite surprising that I mean, especially for Atletico Madrid right now.
Yeah.
I feel like I should ask you guys when you think Griezmann will actually find the back of the net. In fact, he hasn't. In fact, he hasn't started a game yet. I think a full 90-minute match. I don't think he has started yet. So yeah, so that is something to look at as well. I'm not too sure. Is it because he's on loan or something, or I'm not too sure. Is his deal permanent or is he on loan?
No, he's on loan. I'm not sure whether there's an option to buy. There might be, because seeing Barcelona financial at the moment, I'm pretty sure there's an option to buy. But
yeah, for sure.
But yeah, his last match was basically, I believe he's against with Barcelona as a sub. He came on.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, yeah, he's been started off.
I'm surprised that again, this is a loan, but they allow him to play against his own club. He joined in, and Atletico did win Barcelona 2-0 just recently before the international break. So very surprising there.
Yeah, indeed surprising. So there you go. I mean, that kind of sums it up. And of course, you have all your up and coming, your Sevillas, and a few surprises like Rayo Vallecano, who has, I believe, two former Man United players. We have Falcao there and also Bebe. I'm not sure how many Man U fans actually remember who Bebe is, but yeah.
Yeah, but fun fact, the highest minutes per game goal ratio is Radamel Falcao.
Yeah, there you go. I mean,
whoever thought at his age he still got it at La Liga. So
yeah, I mean, I do believe strikers do have that kind of instinct, and once they kind of get it going, it's really up to them basically. And of course, like you mentioned, the one surprisingly, of course, the biggest surprise is Barcelona. Not too sure what the problems are at the moment, but from a fan perspective, I feel like looking at the result now, I think it's better they don't sign Aguero and Depay and keep Messi. Like till today, I don't get it. Like you can afford Depay and Aguero, but for some reason you can't keep Messi. So I would rather like lose those two players and get Messi, but that's for a different topic altogether. And yes, your Villarreals, your Valencia, and your Real, your Real Betis as well. I hope all these teams will actually step it up. It's very, very interesting. It's very, very open. I think from first spot to probably 15, or probably to 10 or maybe 11 spot, you can actually kind of catch up. So it's not that far off. So yeah, I believe it's a very, very interesting season for La Liga fans and followers, because yes, looking at it, unless you're a Barcelona fan, I think the rest will definitely enjoy.
Yeah, unless you're a Barcelona fan with Ronald Koeman in charge, yeah, it may not really be a good time. But Just a quick word before we move on to another league. Just a quick prediction. Who you guys have your money on to win the La Liga as of this stage, right? Gonna start with you, Mr. JB first.
Wow, I think it's early days. People may say, oh, it's Real Madrid and all that, but I don't know. I'm gonna go a bit skeptical here. I think Atletico Madrid might come good.
Okay, Atletico. Ironazi, do you agree with that, or would you feel like there might be surprises here, or Real Madrid might come out?
Yeah, I think same for me too. My brain says Real Madrid with the experiences that they've had, but my heart says Atletico Madrid. So I think
It's the heart of an Atletico supporter.
yeah, I think they're gonna come good. It just needs time for them to re-strategize, reorganize. Because if I might be wrong. I saw a couple of matches where they tried to change their systems and formations. They
Yeah.
don't just stick to their past seasons. They stick to their 4-4-2 all the way, but now not anymore. The last game, if I'm not wrong, they played with a 3-5-2, something different, 3-4-2-1 and whatnot. They try to mix it about, which is also testament to Coach Diego Simeone. He's trying to be versatile. He's trying to do something different, and kudos to the team, and hopefully things get better for them.
All right. So finally, moving on to, well, basically the most watched league in the world, English Premier League. I mean, Harunazi may disagree because he prefers Serie A now over the EPL. But so as of this moment, well, Liverpool is the only one that's yet to be beaten. But however, Chelsea is leading on top with 16 points, Liverpool 15, Man City, Man United, Everton, Brighton, 14 points. Well, it's a very surprising league again. Premier League is just one of those leagues that just never fail to surprise the unpredictability, you know? And the fact that Brentford is 7 right after Brighton, which is even more surprising. I mean, yes, I know people may talk about Brentford being on top of Arsenal, but look at the other teams that they're on top. Tottenham, West Ham, who is currently on Europa League, Aston Villa, who has splashed the cash after Jack Grealish left, Leicester, who is usually top 4, they're 13. This is one of the most unpredictable league among all, which has been said. And I personally, I enjoy this league, and it's gonna be one big race, but not for Arsenal fans, of course. So I'm gonna start with Mr. JB first. As a Man U fan yourself, do you still think that the table right now is, well, right at the moment? Which is the most surprising team to you at the moment? And share with us, like the results that have been shocking around the league.
Yeah, well, surprising. I think Brighton definitely surprised me. But to be honest, they don't really surprise me too much because last season they kind of played with a very good system already. It's just a result wasn't going their way. So you can see that now slowly, the fruits of their labor are slowly coming out, for Brighton. And
Yeah.
of course, people may say, oh, yeah, it's early days, sooner or later they will drop and all that. Yeah, of course. I mean, football is football. But if you remember, not too long ago, Leicester kind of did the same thing, isn't it? They kind of have a head start and they just went all out, they kind of do a grease in Euro and there you go. So, I mean, that's the beauty of the Premier League. And of course, the not so surprising, but at the same time disappointing is, of course, my own Manchester United. They just can't seem to get a very, very important concept in football, and that is consistency. Consistency, right? I mean, I'm not sure what Oli has been doing
Yeah,
in the
but personally, I mean, yeah, sorry if I were to just cut, but I know you're saying the word consistency, but is this more of a manager consistency in terms of decision making, or is it more of a player form consistency, like they are on and off at times? Because I mean, Man United had a surprise loss in Champions League already, and they lost to Aston Villa in the Premier League.
Yep.
So share with us, as a Man U fan, you've been watching very close, so you can give us a first experience about what exactly is going on.
Yeah, I believe, we kind of make a few decent signings, right, for this season. So definitely huge names. Those are not normal players or youth and up
more
and
than
coming.
more than decent signings.
It is
Exactly.
more than
Those are,
it is the
you know what I'm
best
saying?
transfer window that you guys ever have.
I mean, come on, I'm trying to be humble here. Okay. So yeah, so you see what I'm saying? So with the players that we have, right? The resources that we have, I understand probably, from the manager perspective, it's probably difficult to, kind of get the right system together. But I'm not too sure whether Ole actually knows his best 11 at the moment, or perhaps,
Isn't it a
there are
little
some
bit
players,
too late for Man U fans to say that this is only his third year and for
uh,
him to still have
yeah,
the same problem? See, I mean, no
exactly.
offense, this is the same line I've heard for 2 years. Ole doesn't know his best 11. And it
Yeah, it
cannot
is.
be now, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And it can be now. I mean, you said it perfectly fine there. I mean, he has at the moment now the pressure is on Ole, all right? He got the signings, all right?
Yeah.
He got the time that he needs, right? 3 seasons and all that. So now it's time for him to deliver. So I'm not too sure what's the problem now. Yes, you can say, some players kind of go for off days and all that, blah, blah, blah. But with Ole's problem, I think it's more like he doesn't know his best 11, to be honest. He has problems having his best 11. And even if he knows his best 11, he will have a problem knowing who's his second, is his second team is like, like if you look at the past few
There's
games
no
for
plan B
United.
in a way. A good plan.
Exactly. At the end of the day, there's no plan B. You know what I'm saying? Like his subs are very, very predictable. He'll just bring on players, and I don't know. I'm not sure if we can afford to give him more time. Because for example, players like Jadon Sancho, for example, I'm not too sure lah because I'm not on the training ground. I'm just saying from a fan perspective, right? I feel
Yeah.
Jadon Sancho should start more often. You know what I'm saying? You should give him more 90 minutes time. And in fact, in the last game that United, I think, draw, I think
Yeah.
in the last game before the international break,
Yeah.
you can see glimpses of Sancho's game there, a little bit. He's getting more confident. But again, I mean, I don't understand because in Dortmund, Sancho plays as a right midfield, right wing. But in United, he actually
Yeah.
starts
He
on the
plays on the
left. He
left.
plays
Yeah.
on the left, right? So again, I'm not too sure why. Probably waiting for Rashford to be fine, which is another good headache, I guess. Once Rashford comes back to the team. But what I'm concerned more is, does Ole knows his best 11? And I don't know. I mean, he's been playing that lone striker kind of role. I feel like, we have enough squad there to try, the 4-4-2 again. Stop playing with the two defensive mid at the back. Why do you need extra coverage at the back? I don't quite get it. You already have four at the back. Why do you play the two defensive mid? And let's not mention the defensive mid names because the moment I hear those names, I'm gonna start all Gordon Ramsay, and this thing will become Hell's Kitchen. So so
No,
let's
this
just
will turn into
so
Man
let's
U
just keep it
TV.
as that.
That's what it is.
Exactly. So let's just keep it as that. So yeah, so let's just move on to some of the other teams. I think Man City, being Man City, of course, all everyone is basically looking at them as the model, as the team to beat. They kind of show a bit of weaknesses here and there, but eventually they'll come good. They've done it before. Pep have done it before. He's an experienced manager. He will definitely be amongst the tops. Liverpool being Liverpool as well, they're the only ones without any loss. No surprises there. um I mean, I'm definitely have to salute Salah because he's basically pulling all the strings now, and for him to be
He's getting
scoring
better and better.
every season.
Basically.
Yeah, man, he's getting better and better. And I believe last season I did mention that it's a loss for Man City to lose Aguero. I think Mo Salah will be that kind of player right now. I believe that Liverpool should keep him. He's the one that will bang you goals. Um, so yeah, I think that's that. And Chelsea, of course, Chelsea being Chelsea, with the players that they have as well, they're definitely favorites to win the league as well. So again, it's very, very interesting, ups and downs. Even Chelsea already had their loss, quite shockingly as well. Everton surprisingly doing quite well under Rafa as
Yeah.
well. I don't think they do too bad, especially the last game against United. You kind of see glimpses there. They don't really have their star players there, but they're doing quite well. And I've always feel that Rafa is quite good. And of course, just a special mention before I end everything off. There are 4 teams in the Premier League that have yet to win the game. To even
Yeah.
win a single game, to register a single, win. So I think that's quite worrying. But at the same time, this is the Premier League for you. It's a very beautiful league.
Yeah, it is. Nazi, over to you. I mean, as per our predictions, To be fair, we all somewhat predicted Chelsea first, except for Mr. JB, of course, who says Man United first, Chelsea second. So we kind of predicted Chelsea and maybe Man United after reinforcing their signings to be definitely the top two. Of course, it's not an easy league, it's not a runway league. But should we give a bit of credit to Liverpool? Because Liverpool have not made any signings and they are very consistent as per where they last saw. Like share with me your thoughts about the league itself. Of course, the surprises of Brighton, Brentford, Everton that's currently in the top 10. The disappointment of Arsenal, you can kind of say that, and Leicester's and Spurs and all. Share with us your thoughts about the league at the moment.
All right. As Mr. JB was talking over there earlier, I just thought about this. I think I'm just gonna go through the table to a certain point. I'm just gonna give a brief summary of my thoughts of the clubs happening as of now. So Chelsea, I'm just gonna go as the ranking. Chelsea started off strong, but I think their last three matches showed some worrying signs for coach Thomas Tuchel. They lost once in the Premier League, but let's not forget they also lost in the Champions League as well.
Yeah.
So of course the margins was not by a lot, but me as an outsider, when I watched the matches, I think it is something to worry about for Coach Tuchel because the way, in the manner which they lost, they didn't had the opportunity, or they didn't even what's the word? They didn't even put themselves forward to have an opportunity to win. The way I look at it, I forget what's the word. The word just went out of my head. But yeah, in the matches that they lost, I felt that in those three matches that I saw, when the performance blipped, they didn't give themselves an opportunity to win the match. That's what I saw. So worrying signs. I won't say worrying signs, but it is something for Coach Thomas Tuchel to worry about. This Chelsea side. Yeah, they're sitting at the top of the league, but it's early days. Liverpool, as what you mentioned, Faiz, kudos to them. I saw the match against City like every one of you did.
Oh,
And dude, best match of the season so far, end to
as
end.
a neutral,
Second
it's
half,
one of the match.
second half was, I think, it's a long time coming. It was open end to end. Mo Salah's goal, my goodness, brilliant. To score with his right foot after doing all those things, brilliant. No, I agree with you. I think they only made one signing, Konate, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
You can correct me.
One
Konate, but
major
I think,
signing, a defender.
yeah, and he has not started a match yet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
He did.
he doesn't
I'm not
really start.
sure.
He's more of a rotation,
Yeah. So
sporadic
look,
appearance for like Champions League and some other.
credit have to go to Mr. Klopp, Jurgen Klopp, the manager, the coaching staff, the players for believing in the system, believing in the way, believing in the idea that is put forth by their coach, and the way they're going about doing things. Of course, they're not flying as per when they won the league just yet, but again, it's early days. They're gonna get there, and they're gonna be a nuisance for the person up top. Trust me, for the team up top, they're gonna be
Yeah,
chasers.
definitely.
So, Man City, again, I think everyone is confused with the way that Pep put out his team to play with the no strikers. But trust me, they have good
The
strikers up
false
top.
nine tactic that he's been
Yeah,
trying.
trust me, they have Ferran Torres. Phil Foden can play up top as a false nine. Not Vinicius, I'm sorry.
With Jesus. Yeah.
Jesus can play up front, but his preference is to play on the right side, and it can be seen why. The squad is stacked. They have De Bruyne, who is coming to top form.
Grealish. Also.
I'm telling you, De Bruyne still haven't hit his heights yet. Have not. People praised him for the match against Liverpool. Trust me, he is not at his best. From his body language, from the way that he was huffing and puffing in the match, from the way that he was holding on to his knees, he's not at his best. He's not at his highest level of fitness yet. He will, hopefully no injuries happen to him. You will see a better De Bruyne. Trust me. Grealish, I think still he still needs some time to adapt to the Manchester City system, but I still prefer Sterling. I don't understand why Sterling is not starting over him. I think Sterling proved to all of us in the Euros what kind of player he could have been, he could become, and what kind of player he can be an asset to all the teams in the top four. Okay, I don't want to speak too long. Manchester United, Mr. JB already touched on that. I think it's early days. As Mr. JB was speaking there, one thing came up to mind. After the international break, it can go two ways. It's either the performance can get better and they can be consistent and they can be challenges for the title, or they're gonna go down and down and down, which I think it's not likely to happen. I think they're gonna pick up. I think they're gonna get better. Are they gonna challenge for the top four? Certainly, for sure. Are they gonna be champions? It's gonna be a little bit difficult, but they're gonna be somewhere thereabouts. I believe so. So yeah, two ways. It's either they're gonna go fly or they're gonna go down the drain. Yep. So then we have Everton, Rafa Benitez, great job, good manager. Things are looking on the up, playing on the counter. Brighton, good match against Arsenal, brilliant performance. A lot of chances not taken. Weather was
Yeah.
terrible.
I mean, it's a
But
very entertaining 0-0. Not many people
yeah,
talk about it.
very entertaining. To me, if Man City Liverpool was the best game of the season, to me Arsenal Brighton was the second best match so far that I've watched.
Though by right,
Very
Brighton should have taken the 3 points personally.
yeah,
They
yep,
attack
yep,
more
yep.
than us.
True. They had a lot of chances but not converted. Brighton, big ups to Graham Potter. Brentford, we saw the start of the season, the first match where they surprised everyone. But I don't foresee Brentford being over there. I think they themselves are going to be satisfied with finishing maybe somewhere between eight. No, eight. I think is no. Yeah, I think it's good. Between 8th to 10th position, I think that would be a good start for them. Tottenham, Nuno Espirito Santo, pressure is on him. He got the players. Harry Kane is still not flying. Heung-min Son looks like the go-to man. Lucas Moura, preseason, brilliant. In season, not as good so far.
Yeah.
Højbjerg, not the player that he was in the Euros. There a lot of work to be done. West Ham, quite surprised. I was expecting them to be more consistent. I wasn't expecting they have 2 losses. I wasn't expecting them to lose. I was expecting them to maybe lose once, draw once, maybe get results. But again, still start of the season.
I mean, it
Aston
could be
Villa,
the Europa League schedule that's affecting them.
maybe true. They've not been used to that kind of momentum. So maybe early days. Aston Villa, with the money that they spent on that Grealish went out, but they have 3 losses under their belt. Expected, I feel somewhat. Arsenal, I feel it's not because Faiz is here, but I think Arsenal, they're gonna climb up the table. Based on what I saw, I think they're gonna climb up. Problem with Arsenal is, I'm sorry to all Arsenal fans, but I feel problem for Arsenal is the fans. The fans that expect too
AFTV
much of Arsenal.
specifically like that.
Yeah. Nothing against AFTV, you guys do you, but if things were to go bad, if they were to lose, trust me, if they were to lose their first match after the international break, people will go back against Arteta, which I think is not the right thing to do. You need to support your manager. He is trying to turn things around. We can see he is trying. The football is not pretty. Don't worry. It's all about the results in the Premier League.
Yeah.
I feel Arsenal is going to go on the way up. Wolves, keep a lookout for Wolves. Bruno Lager, they're doing well. The football is pretty. Jimenez, Huang Hee-chan, brilliant.
Yeah.
Huang Hee-chan is brilliant. Score with right foot, score with left foot. Leicester, surprise. I don't understand why they're in the position that they are now. Crystal Palace,
Brendan
Patrick
Rodgers
Vieira.
is under a lot of pressure as well.
True. Crystal Palace, Patrick Vieira. I think they're a contender for relegation. I don't know why, but my heart
Really?
says that.
I thought
I
Crystal
feel
Palace
so.
actually played slightly better than some other teams that are down there.
Inconsistency. I think they're not consistent. The football is abrupt. Can say Watford, Claudio Ranieri comes in, but I don't think he's gonna change much. I'm not too sure. I don't know. Leeds United, surprise. I don't foresee them lost 6 matches. Have they lost 6 matches? No, 6 points. They've lost 3 matches. Southampton, thereabouts. Ralph Hasenhüttl, I think he's been given a lot of chances. Need to back up before anything happens. Burnley, I predicted to be in the bottom zone.
Yeah.
Newcastle is a podcast for another day. Norwich City, also Norwich City. You know, they need to back up, man. I don't know. I predicted Norwich, Burnley, and Watford if I'm not wrong. So
Well,
Yep.
all right. So
So
of
we'll
course,
see
like
how it
what you
goes.
said is true. Newcastle is gonna be a topic on its own on another day because a lot of things has happened as per recording. If you guys not too sure, Newcastle have a brand new owner that's coming in, and that owner is well basically 10 times richer than every single owner combined. So just a quick question then, just a quick question because we're not gonna go in there because we're running a bit out of time. Is Newcastle gonna win the Premier League next season? Mr. JB, is Newcastle going to win the Premier League next season or at least be in the top four with the new owner? Just a quick one.
Yes. Yes, they're gonna win it.
They're going to.
They better win. They better win it. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, we're going to
It's not a
dissect
matter
through
of
it and know
yeah.
why, but yeah, like it's crazy to see how this is happening right now. And
In fact,
anything can happen.
I'm gonna go. In fact, I'm gonna go one better. I'm gonna see how much they spend this coming January, and they might win it this season. Who knows?
I mean, I don't think so. Unless if they replace Steve Bruce, I don't know. He could be. I mean, Conte is still available. Eddie Howe is still available. He's around the English block area. Harnazi, is Newcastle gonna be the one to watch next season?
One to watch, definitely. I think everyone is now with the investment that has been made at Newcastle, I think everyone is interested to see what happens over there. I think the hoo-ha is much bigger than the one that happened at Man City because, like, look, truth be told, they have the richest owner ever in a football team or
Yeah,
soccer club, you might
even
call
bigger
it.
than
So
PSG. So
bigger, man, bigger. So I think all eyes are on Newcastle. To answer your question, are they going to win the title next season? Look, I'm a realist. I think I'm going to backtrack for a bit. This season, I think the target should be to stay out of relegation, and it's a bonus if they can finish in the top 10. All right. For
yeah,
this season, get out of relegation zone, not relegated, finishing in the top 10, brilliant. Next season, realist in me, I know people are going to talk about the money. I know people are going to talk about the players that they want to bring in. Next season, I think their realistic target should be finishing in the top six.
yeah,
Top six.
I think that's really
Realistic target. Yeah. And yeah, I don't want to speak much because I want to speak a lot on the next
yeah,
podcast when we
yes.
talk about Newcastle. So that's relegation. Get off the relegation zone for this season. Finishing in the top 10 would be great, ideal. Next season, finishing in the top 6.
All right. With that being said, we have come to the end of this episode podcast. Thank you guys again so much for actually listening and watching through this and listening to Spotify. Do press the like, share, subscribe, comment down below what you guys think. Which league is one to watch and all that. And do you agree with us? Do share with us your thoughts. So in the next episode, we're gonna focus more on back to Singapore, but international version. The Suzuki Cup's coming up. The Singapore squad has been announced, so we're going to touch on that a little bit. And also what's going to happen to Newcastle, we're going to try touch on that as well. So question of the day for you guys is, out of the 5 leagues that we have reviewed today, which one are you guys most excited about? So gonna go with Harunazi first. Which one of the 5 leagues are you most interested and excited about?
Okay, I'm gonna give 2. Of course, number 1, surprise, surprise, EPL. I'm gonna go with EPL with number of teams fighting for top spot, top managers there. Number 2, Serie A, with top managers there, and there's a shift in pattern in football in the Italian league. So these two, EPL, Serie A for me.
Mr. JB, over to you. Which is the league to watch for you? The most exciting one to watch right
Well, no surprise. I think I'll agree with Harun Nazri as well. EPL and Serie A. EPL, I don't need to say much about EPL. That's where everyone watches it. So who cares, right? No matter how bad the league does, it's the most watched league. And of course Serie A, because yes, I do feel that Italian football have come a long way. All along people have been talking about Premier League and La Liga, Premier League, La Liga. That's about it. But now I think it's about time that Serie A will shine this season. So yes, I think Serie A will be the next exciting one to watch.
All right. Thank you guys again so much. Harun Nazri and Mr. JB, thank you for joining and sharing your thoughts and sparing your time for this podcast. And also just one more announcement to make. Gonna try do a Football Focus SG quiz between Harun Nazri and Mr. JB. There are a little bit of plans of that where we're gonna have a series of games, just for fun games, just sharing football knowledge with one another and have a banter about it, you know. So with that being said, thank you guys again so much, and we'll see you guys next time. Take care, everyone.